One of the most overlooked aspects of healthy aging is our vision. As we grow older, the cells in our eyes undergo oxidative stress, inflammation, and even damage to the tiny blood vessels that keep our retina healthy. This is why so many seniors experience blurred vision, dry eyes, or age-related macular degeneration. But here's the fascinating part. Science is now discovering that what you eat before bed can actually help repair some of this damage while you sleep. Your body enters a natural state of repair at night, and certain nutrients can supercharge that process. Today I want to share with you one powerful fruit, backed by research that can help protect and repair your eyes as you rest. It's simple, affordable, and something most people overlook in their daily diet. When we talk about repairing the body and slowing down the aging process, one thing is clear: the human body is a remarkable machine, but it needs the right conditions to heal and regenerate. Sleep is one of those critical conditions. It's not just about resting your mind, it's when your cells undergo a complete maintenance routine, and this includes your eyes. During the day, our eyes are constantly exposed to light, environmental pollutants, and oxidative stress. Blue light from screens, ultraviolet radiation from the sun, and even tiny fluctuations in blood sugar levels can damage the delicate structures in the eye. The retina, for example, is an incredibly energy-demanding tissue. It's packed with photoreceptor cells that convert light into electrical signals for the brain to interpret. These cells are metabolically active all day long, meaning they produce energy at a high rate but also accumulate damage from reactive oxygen species, or what we often call free radicals. Now, here's where it gets interesting. When you sleep, your body shifts into what researchers call a restorative state. Instead of dealing with the constant input and stress from the outside world, your system turns inward, focusing on repair. Blood flow to certain tissues, including the eyes, improves at night. Studies have shown that melatonin, the hormone that regulates your sleep-wake cycle, also functions as a powerful antioxidant inside the eye. This means that while you sleep, melatonin helps neutralize some of the oxidative stress that has been building up all day. But melatonin alone isn't enough. The body relies on key nutrients to power its nighttime repair processes. Vitamins like A, C, and E, along with carotenoids, such as lutein and zeaxanthin, are critical for repairing damaged cells in the retina and protecting them from future harm. If your diet is lacking in these compounds, your eyes don't have the raw materials needed for proper maintenance. Over time, this lack of repair contributes to the age-related vision problems so many seniors experience: macular degeneration, cataracts, or simply worsening eyesight as the years go by. Think about it this way: when you sleep, your eyes are essentially off-duty. They're closed, shielded from light, and finally given a break. This is the ideal time for the body to send in nutrients, antioxidants, and oxygen to fix the wear and tear from the day. It's like scheduling maintenance on a car. You wouldn't try to change the oil while driving down the highway. Similarly, the body doesn't perform its best repair work while you're awake and using your eyes. It does it at night when things are calm. There's also an emerging area of research on what scientists call autophagy, which literally means self-eating. It's the process by which your cells break down and recycle damaged components. Autophagy ramps up when you're sleeping and fasting, two states that often overlap overnight. In the eyes, this process helps clear out dysfunctional proteins and damaged cellular structures, essentially giving your retinal cells a chance to start fresh. If autophagy doesn't happen properly, debris builds up inside the eye, which is a hallmark of diseases like age-related macular degeneration. Interestingly, researchers have found that the circadian rhythm, your body's internal clock, plays a huge role in eye health. The retina itself has its own circadian rhythm, controlling things like light sensitivity and even the release of certain growth factors that help with repair. If your sleep schedule is irregular, or if you don't get enough quality sleep, this natural rhythm gets disrupted. Over years, that disruption can accelerate aging in the eye. This is one reason why people who work night shifts or suffer from chronic insomnia often have higher rates of vision problems later in life. Now, imagine combining the body's natural nighttime repair processes with a targeted supply of the right nutrients before bed. Instead of working with limited resources, your body suddenly has the tools it needs to fight oxidative stress, repair damaged DNA in eye cells, and strengthen the tiny blood vessels that feed the retina. This is why what you eat in the evening, particularly foods rich in antioxidants, can make such a big difference. For example, studies have shown that certain antioxidants can cross the blood-retina barrier, meaning they actually reach the parts of the eye where they're needed most. Vitamin C helps regenerate vitamin E, another antioxidant that protects cell membranes from oxidative damage. Carotenoids like lutein and zeaxanthin are deposited directly into the macula, the central part of the retina responsible for sharp, detailed vision. These nutrients form a kind of shield against the blue light and free radicals that cause cumulative damage over time. Another fascinating aspect is the role of omega-3 fatty acids, particularly DHA. The retina is one of the richest sources of DHA in the entire body, and it's essential for maintaining the structure of photoreceptor cells. When you consume omega-3 rich foods in the evening, you're providing the building blocks needed to maintain these critical cell membranes overnight, when repair processes peak. And let's not forget blood sugar regulation, eating the wrong foods before bed, especially those high in refined carbohydrates, can spike blood sugar levels, leading to oxidative stress and inflammation that affect the microvasculature of the eye. On the other hand, low glycemic, nutrient-dense foods help maintain stable blood sugar, ensuring that repair processes aren't disrupted by metabolic stress. So, nighttime matters for eye health because it's the window when your body finally has the chance to undo some of the day's damage with the right conditions. Quality sleep, a steady circadian rhythm, and the proper nutrients, your eyes can repair, regenerate, and stay healthier for longer. Without these factors, the damage simply accumulates, leading to the vision problems so many people accept as an inevitable part of aging. The exciting part is, aging eyes are not necessarily doomed eyes. By understanding how nighttime repair works and supporting it with the right evening nutrition, you can dramatically improve the health of your vision as you grow older. When we talk about aging and eye health, one of the most powerful tools we have isn't found in a pharmacy. It's not a high-tech laser treatment or some exotic supplement. It's a simple fruit, one that research consistently shows can protect and even repair the delicate tissues in our eyes. And here's the fascinating part, most people walk right past it in the grocery store without realizing the extraordinary health benefits it offers. This fruit is the blueberry. Blueberries are not just a tasty snack, they're one of the richest natural sources of antioxidants, especially compounds called anthocyanins. These are the pigments that give blueberries their deep blue color, but they do far more than add color. Anthocyanins actively protect the cells in our eyes from oxidative stress and inflammation, two of the major drivers of age-related vision problems. Let's take a closer look at why this matters. As we age, the retina, the light-sensitive layer at the back of the eye, experiences constant wear and tear. Every time light enters the eye, it creates energy. That energy is essential for vision, but it also generates free radicals, unstable molecules, that can damage cells if not neutralized. Over decades, this oxidative stress builds up, harming the photoreceptor cells and the retinal pigment epithelium, both of which are critical for sharp, clear vision. Anthocyanins from blueberries act as powerful antioxidants, mopping up these free radicals before they can cause harm. In animal studies, diets enriched with anthocyanins have been shown to reduce retinal damage after exposure to intense light. Human studies are equally promising. One clinical trial in Japan, for instance, found that daily blueberry extract improved eye fatigue and supported better night vision in people with visual strain. These findings suggest that the compounds in blueberries don't just prevent damage, they may actually help the eyes recover from it. But the benefits don't stop at antioxidants. Blueberries also improve blood flow to the tiny capillaries in the eyes. The retina is one of the most metabolically active tissues in the body, requiring a constant supply of oxygen and nutrients. As we age, circulation often declines, starving the eyes of the resources they need. Anthocyanins help maintain healthy blood vessels, keeping them flexible and functional. This means more oxygen, more nutrients, and ultimately better repair processes while you sleep. Another critical nutrient in blueberries is vitamin C. We often associate vitamin C with immune health, but in the eye it plays a very specific role. It helps regenerate vitamin E, another antioxidant that protects cell membranes from oxidative damage. The lens of the eye, in particular, relies heavily on vitamin C to maintain its transparency, Low levels of vitamin C have been linked to a higher risk of cataracts, a common vision problem in older adults. By eating blueberries, you're essentially supplying your eyes with the raw materials they need to fight this age-related clouding of vision. Then there's the connection to inflammation. Many eye diseases, including age-related macular degeneration, AMD, and diabetic retinopathy, involve chronic low-grade inflammation. Anthocyanins have anti-inflammatory properties that calm this process at the cellular level. They inhibit certain signaling molecules, like NF5, that drive inflammation, helping protect the retina from the slow, smoldering damage that leads to vision loss over time. What makes blueberries particularly interesting is that they appear to cross the blood-retina barrier. Much like the blood-brain barrier protects the brain, the blood-retina barrier protects the eyes from harmful substances. The fact that anthocyanins can cross this barrier means they actually reach the parts of the eye where they're needed most. This is a key point because many nutrients never make it past these protective filters. Now you might be wondering why eat blueberries at night. This ties back to what we discussed earlier about the body's natural repair processes during sleep. When you consume blueberries in the evening, you're providing your body with a concentrated dose of antioxidants and anti-inflammatory compounds right before it begins its nightly maintenance work. Instead of struggling to repair cells with limited resources, your eyes have exactly what they need to neutralize free radicals, reduce inflammation, and restore damaged tissue. The timing also helps stabilize blood sugar levels overnight. Blueberries have a relatively low glycemic index compared to many fruits, meaning they don't cause sharp spikes in blood sugar. This is important because high blood sugar can damage the tiny blood vessels in the retina, a problem seen in diabetic retinopathy. By choosing blueberries instead of a sugary dessert or late-night snack, you're supporting both metabolic health and eye health simultaneously. And here's an often overlooked point. Blueberries may also support the production of melatonin, the sleep hormone. Some studies suggest that certain plant compounds, including anthocyanins, can influence melatonin pathways. If this is true, then eating blueberries in the evening could serve a dual purpose, enhancing sleep quality and giving your eyes the nutrients they need to repair themselves more effectively overnight. What about the amount? Most research suggests that around 1 cup of fresh blueberries per day, or an equivalent amount of frozen berries, is enough to deliver measurable health benefits. If fresh berries aren't available, freeze-dried or powdered blueberry extracts have shown similar effects in clinical studies. The key is consistency. The protective compounds in blueberries accumulate in the tissues over time, so the longer you eat them regularly, the more benefit you're likely to see. Some people ask whether they can simply take a supplement instead of eating the whole fruit. While blueberry extracts can be helpful, whole berries provide a complex mix of phytonutrients, fiber, and vitamins that work synergistically. Nature tends to package its medicines in combinations that are more effective than isolated compounds. So whenever possible, the whole fruit is the better choice. The takeaway here is simple. By eating blueberries before bed, you're aligning modern nutritional science with your body's natural rhythms. You're giving your eyes exactly what they need at the precise moment they can use it most effectively. Over weeks and months, this small habit can translate into real measurable improvements in eye health, sharper vision, and possibly even a lower risk of age-related eye diseases. When we talk about repairing the body, especially something as delicate as the eyes, it's important to understand what's actually happening on a cellular level. Aging in the eyes isn't caused by one single factor. It's the result of oxidative stress, inflammation, metabolic imbalance, and even microvascular damage, all of which accumulate over decades. But what's remarkable is that our bodies are not passive observers in this process. Every night, while we sleep, our cells engage in repair work that is far more complex and coordinated than most people realize. And when we provide the right nutrients before bed, like those in blueberries, we can enhance these natural repair mechanisms in a way that protects and even rejuvenates the tissues involved in vision. Let's start with the retina. This is one of the most metabolically active tissues in the entire body. Photoreceptor cells in the retina are constantly exposed to light during the day, converting it into electrical signals that the brain interprets as images. This process creates high levels of metabolic activity and inevitably free radicals, unstable molecules that can damage lipids, proteins, and even DNA inside the cells. Now, when we sleep, the retina gets a break from light exposure, energy demand drops, and this is when cells switch from high activity to high repair mode. One of the key processes here is DNA repair. Free radicals and ultraviolet light can damage the DNA inside retinal cells, creating what scientists call DNA breaks. Left unrepaired, these breaks accumulate and interfere with cell function, contributing to degenerative conditions like age-related macular degeneration. The nutrients in blueberries, particularly anthocyanins and vitamin C, help in two ways. First, by reducing the number of free radicals in the first place, and second, by activating pathways that assist in DNA repair. Animal studies have shown that anthocyanins can upregulate certain repair enzymes, essentially giving cells the tools they need to maintain their genetic integrity over time. Another critical mechanism is autophagy. I've talked about this process often because it's one of the most exciting areas of autophagy is the cell's recycling program, literally meaning self-eating. During autophagy, cells identify and break down damaged components, including dysfunctional mitochondria and misfolded proteins. In the eyes, this is essential because debris accumulation in retinal cells is a major factor in aging. In fact, in conditions like macular degeneration, scientists often find clumps of waste products called drosin building up in the retina. These interfere with vision and cell survival. What's fascinating is that autophagy activity increases at night, and during periods of fasting, when you eat blueberries before bed, you're giving your body a source of polyphenols that appear to stimulate autophagy pathways. Compounds like resveratrol, which I've studied extensively, are well known for this effect, but anthocyanins from blueberries also seem to activate similar cellular cleanup mechanisms. This means that damaged proteins and organelles inside retinal cells can be cleared out more efficiently while you sleep, allowing healthier components to take their place. Then there's the issue of inflammation, low-grade chronic inflammation. What researchers often call inflammaging is one of the most damaging processes for aging tissues, including the eyes. It interferes with blood flow, disrupts cellular signaling, and accelerates degeneration. At night, when stress hormones like cortisol naturally drop, the body has an opportunity to repair inflammatory damage. Blueberries contain not only anthocyanins but also other polyphenols that inhibit NF-κB, a key molecular switch that drives inflammation. By calming this pathway before bed, you're essentially creating a biochemical environment that favors repair rather than further damage. Blood flow is another critical factor. The retina depends on a rich network of tiny capillaries to deliver oxygen and nutrients. Aging often stiffens blood vessels and reduces circulation, starving the tissues of what they need to repair themselves. Blueberries improve endothelial function, the health of the cells lining blood vessels, by increasing nitric oxide availability. Nitric oxide relaxes and widens blood vessels, improving circulation. Studies have shown that after consuming anthocyanin-rich foods, blood flow to microvascular tissues improves measurably within hours. Eating blueberries before bed means that as you sleep, your retinal cells are getting a better supply of oxygen and nutrients right when they need it most. Melatonin, the hormone that regulates our sleep-wake cycle, also plays a role in eye repair. It's a powerful antioxidant itself, especially in the retina, where melatonin levels naturally rise at night. There's evidence suggesting that some of the compounds in blueberries may support melatonin production or at least work synergistically with it. This combination, higher melatonin levels and blueberry-derived antioxidants, creates a potent shield against oxidative stress during the overnight repair window. And we can't ignore mitochondria, the energy factories of our cells. Retinal cells have some of the highest mitochondrial density in the body because vision requires so much energy. Aging and oxidative stress damage these mitochondria, leading to energy deficits that impair cell function and survival. Anthocyanins have been shown to protect mitochondrial membranes from oxidative damage and even stimulate the creation of new mitochondria, a process called mitochondrial biogenesis. Supporting mitochondrial health overnight means retinal cells wake up with better energy reserves to face the next day's metabolic demands. Finally, there's the matter of gene expression. Compounds in blueberries can activate certain longevity pathways, like the sirtuins, that control how cells respond to stress and repair damage. My own research at Harvard has shown that activating these pathways helps cells survive longer and function better under stress. Eating blueberries before bed provides polyphenols that engage these same pathways in eye tissues, essentially flipping genetic switches that favor repair, resilience, and healthy aging. So when you combine all these effects, DNA repair, autophagy, reduced inflammation, improved blood flow, stronger mitochondria, and beneficial gene expression, you start to see why eating the right nutrients before bed can have such a profound impact on eye health. Overnight, while you sleep, your body isn't just resting, it's conducting a symphony of repair processes, and by supplying the right compounds from blueberries at exactly the right time, you amplify the body's natural ability to maintain and even restore vision as you age. When we talk about the power of food to slow aging and repair damage, timing and method matter just as much as the nutrients themselves. This is especially true for eye health and the evening routine that sets the stage for overnight repair. Eating the right fruit at the wrong time or in the wrong way might blunt many of its potential benefits. That's why understanding the best way to eat blueberries before bed can make the difference between a simple snack and a powerful longevity tool for your vision. First, let's talk about timing. Our bodies operate on circadian rhythms, internal clocks that control everything from hormone levels to digestion to cell repair. Melatonin, the hormone that triggers sleep and ramps up cellular repair, rises naturally in the evening. If you eat too late at night, especially heavy or sugary meals, you can interfere with melatonin production and disrupt your sleep cycle. But eating blueberries about 1 to 2 hours before bedtime gives your body time to digest and absorb the nutrients without creating a spike in blood sugar that would interfere with melatonin release. This window matters because the nutrients in blueberries, the anthocyanins, vitamin C, polyphenols, and flavonoids, need to be circulating in your bloodstream when your body begins its nighttime repair work. If you eat them too early in the day, much of their antioxidant activity peaks while you're still exposed to environmental stressors like light and pollution. By evening, levels may have dropped. Consuming them closer to bedtime ensures that as your eyes switch from high activity to high repair mode, those protective compounds are right there ready to be delivered to the tissues that need them. Another critical factor is portion size. People often think that if a little is good, more must be better. But that's not how the body works. Overloading on fruit at night can cause digestive discomfort, unnecessary sugar intake, and even sleep disruption if your body is too busy digesting instead of repairing. Research shows that around 1 cup of fresh blueberries, or the equivalent in frozen or freeze-dried form, is enough to provide the anthocyanins and other nutrients needed for measurable health benefits without overloading the system. What about the form of blueberries? Fresh is ideal because it contains the full spectrum of nutrients, fiber, and water content. Frozen blueberries are an excellent second option since freezing preserves most of the antioxidants if done soon after harvest. Freeze-dried blueberry powder or capsules can also be effective, especially in clinical settings, but as I often emphasize, whole foods provide synergistic compounds that supplements sometimes miss. For instance, the fiber in whole blueberries slows the release of sugars into the bloodstream, reducing the risk of a glucose spike while improving gut health, something extracts can't fully replicate. Pairing blueberries with certain foods can also enhance nutrient absorption. For example, many of the antioxidants in blueberries are fat-soluble, meaning they're better absorbed in the presence of healthy fats. Eating them with a small handful of walnuts or almonds or even a little Greek yogurt can improve bioavailability. These combinations also provide additional nutrients that support eye health, such as vitamin E from nuts or probiotics from yogurt, which may reduce inflammation throughout the body. Another interesting point is that eating blueberries in their raw form seems to preserve the highest antioxidant activity. Heating them, such as in baked goods, may degrade some of the delicate compounds like vitamin C. So while blueberry muffins might taste good, they're not the best vehicle for delivering antioxidants to your retinal cells before bed. Fresh, frozen, or minimally processed forms are ideal to maintain the potency of these compounds. There's also the question of sugar content. People with diabetes or prediabetes sometimes worry about eating fruit at night. Blueberries have a low glycemic index compared to many fruits, meaning they don't cause a sharp spike in blood sugar. In fact, studies have shown that blueberries can improve insulin sensitivity over time, making them a smart choice even for people concerned about glucose levels. Pairing them with protein or healthy fats further slows sugar absorption, creating a steady release of energy rather than a spike followed by a crash. One practical tip is to make blueberries part of a calming evening ritual rather than a rushed snack. The act of slowing down, eating mindfully, and preparing your body for rest matters. Chronic stress elevates cortisol, a hormone that not only disrupts sleep but also accelerates aging in tissues like the eyes. By creating a peaceful, intentional routine, dimming the lights, avoiding screens, and enjoying a small bowl of blueberries, with perhaps some herbal tea, you align multiple longevity pathways at once: better sleep quality, lower stress, and enhanced nutrient delivery. Another layer to this is the gut microbiome. The polyphenols in blueberries are metabolized by gut bacteria into smaller compounds that can have even more powerful effects on human cells. A healthy microbiome actually amplifies the benefits of blueberry consumption. This means that eating a diverse, fiber-rich diet in general will help your body extract the maximum benefit from blueberries at night. Interestingly, some studies suggest that the gut microbiome itself follows a circadian rhythm, processing nutrients differently depending on the time of day. Evening consumption of polyphenol-rich foods like blueberries may provide compounds to the gut bacteria at a time when they can produce beneficial metabolites that circulate overnight, reaching tissues like the retina. And we shouldn't ignore hydration. Blueberries contain water, but not enough to replace your body's fluid needs. Adequate hydration ensures optimal blood flow and nutrient transport to the eyes. Drinking a small glass of water with your evening blueberries can support this process, though of course you don't want to overdo it right before bed if it leads to disrupted sleep from bathroom trips. Finally, consistency is key. Eating blueberries once in a while won't produce dramatic changes. The protective compounds in blueberries accumulate in tissues over time, including the macula of the eye, where lutein, zeaxanthin, and other antioxidants form a literal shield against oxidative stress. Daily consumption ensures a steady supply of these compounds, creating long-term resilience rather than short-term benefits. When you put it all together, the timing, portion, food pairing, form, and consistency, eating blueberries before bed transforms from a simple dietary choice into a strategic, science-backed habit for protecting your vision as you age. It's a small change with potentially profound effects on how your eyes repair and regenerate each night, keeping them healthier for years to come. When we talk about aging, especially in the context of vision, it's easy to focus on short-term fixes, the new pair of glasses, the latest eye drops, or even surgical interventions when problems become severe. But what science is increasingly showing us is that the small, consistent habits we adopt over time can dramatically alter the trajectory of our health as we age. For seniors, eating the right nutrients before bed, like those found in blueberries, isn't just about seeing a little more clearly tomorrow morning. It's about stacking the odds in your favor for the years and decades ahead, preserving vision, independence, and quality of life. Let's step back and look at why this matters so much. Vision loss with age isn't inevitable, but it is common. Conditions like age-related macular degeneration, cataracts, and glaucoma become more prevalent after the age of 60. Many seniors simply accept declining vision as part of growing older, but the reality is that much of this deterioration is driven by processes we can influence: oxidative stress, inflammation, impaired circulation, and mitochondrial decline. These aren't random events, they're biochemical pathways that respond to lifestyle and diet. When you consistently provide your body with the right compounds, especially at the right times, you shift these pathways toward repair and resilience rather than damage and decline. Blueberries, consumed regularly before bed, play into this by supporting multiple layers of long-term eye health. We've already discussed how the anthocyanins, vitamin C, and other polyphenols in blueberries work overnight to reduce oxidative damage, improve circulation, and enhance cellular repair. But the real power emerges over months and years of consistent consumption. The protective pigments from blueberries, such as lutein and zeaxanthin, actually accumulate in the macula, the central part of the retina responsible for sharp, detailed vision. This isn't a one-time event. As you eat these compounds regularly, they build up like a shield inside your eye, filtering harmful blue light and neutralizing free radicals before they can harm the delicate photoreceptor cells. Studies have shown that people with higher macular pigment density, meaning more of these protective compounds stored in their eyes, have significantly lower risk of age-related macular degeneration, one of the leading causes of blindness in older adults. What's fascinating is that this accumulation process is slow and steady. Eating blueberries occasionally won't produce much change, but daily or near daily consumption over months creates a biological reservoir of protection inside the retina itself. It's a perfect example of how nutrition interacts with time to shape the aging process. Another long-term benefit involves vascular health. The eyes are full of tiny capillaries that deliver oxygen and nutrients to the retina. Over time, high blood pressure, diabetes, and general vascular aging can damage these fragile vessels, leading to conditions like diabetic retinopathy or retinal vein occlusion. Anthocyanins from blueberries help maintain endothelial function, the health of the cells lining blood vessels, and reduce arterial stiffness. This means better blood flow to the eyes over the long run, less risk of microvascular damage, and a lower chance of vision-threatening complications down the road. Then there's the role of chronic inflammation. As we age, many tissues in the body enter a state of persistent, low-grade inflammation, often called inflammaging in the eyes. This accelerates degenerative diseases and impairs the ability of cells to repair themselves. The anti-inflammatory compounds in blueberries don't just act for a few hours after you eat them. Regular consumption appears to lower baseline levels of inflammatory markers in the body. Over years, this creates a systemic environment that favors longevity and resilience, not just in the eyes but in the brain, cardiovascular system, and beyond. Speaking of the brain, we can't ignore the eye-brain connection. The retina is actually an extension of the central nervous system. The same nutrients that protect retinal cells often protect neurons in the brain as well. Long-term blueberry consumption has been linked in multiple studies to better cognitive function in older adults, likely because the same oxidative and inflammatory processes that damage the eyes also damage the brain. So by protecting your vision, you may also be protecting your memory and mental clarity, two things seniors understandably want to preserve as long as possible. Another key point for the long term is mitochondrial health. We've talked about how retinal cells are packed with mitochondria because vision requires so much energy. Mitochondrial decline is one of the hallmarks of aging, leading to reduced cellular energy and increased vulnerability to stress. Compounds in blueberries support mitochondrial biogenesis, the creation of new mitochondria, and protect existing ones from oxidative damage. Over years, this means your retinal cells maintain better energy production, which is essential for keeping vision sharp well into your 70s, 80s, and beyond. It's also worth noting that blood sugar control plays a huge role in long-term eye health. High glucose levels damage the retina's microvasculature and accelerate oxidative stress. Blueberries have been shown in clinical studies to improve insulin sensitivity and help regulate blood sugar levels. For seniors at risk of type 2 diabetes or metabolic syndrome, eating blueberries before bed could reduce not only systemic complications, but also the specific eye damage caused by prolonged hyperglycemia. Finally, there's the matter of independence and quality of life. Vision loss in seniors doesn't just affect eyesight. It increases the risk of falls, fractures, depression, and even cognitive decline due to reduced sensory input. Maintaining clear vision means maintaining autonomy, the ability to read, drive, recognize faces, and navigate the world safely. Something as simple as a nightly bowl of blueberries sustained over years could contribute to keeping seniors active, engaged, and independent far longer than they might otherwise be. When we think about longevity, it's tempting to look for dramatic interventions, new drugs, high-tech therapies, or experimental procedures, but often the most powerful tools are the simplest and most consistent ones. Blueberries before bed provide a low-cost, accessible, evidence-backed way to harness the body's natural repair processes, protect against multiple aging pathways, and preserve not just vision but overall vitality well into later life. Over time, these small daily decisions compound, shaping how we age in ways that no quick fix ever could.